President Howard W. Hunter, President of the Council of the 12 Apostles, will be our concluding speaker for this session. President Hunter.
The gospel of Jesus Christ, which gospel we teach, and the ordinances of which we perform, is a global faith with an all-embracing message. It is neither confined nor partial, nor subject to history or fashion. Its essence is universally and eternally true. Its message is for all the world, restored in these latter days to meet the fundamental needs of every nation, kindred, tongue, and people on the earth. It has been established again as it was in the beginning, to build brotherhood, to preserve truth, and to save souls. Brigham Young once said about such a broad and stimulating concept of religion, "For me, the plan of salvation must circumscribe all the knowledge that is upon the face of the earth, or it is not from God." Such a plan incorporates every system of true doctrine on the earth, whether it be ecclesiastical, moral, philosophical, or civil. It incorporates all good laws that have been made from the days of Adam until now. It swallows up the laws of nations, for it exceeds them in all knowledge and purity. It circumscribes the doctrines of the day and takes from the right and the left and brings all truth together in one system and leaves the chaff to be scattered hither and thither. As members of the Church of Jesus Christ, we seek to bring all truth together. We seek to enlarge the circle of love and understanding among all the people of the earth. Thus we strive to establish peace and happiness, not only within Christianity, but among all mankind. In the message of the gospel, the entire human race is one family, descended from a single God. All men and women have not only a physical lineage leading back to Adam and Eve, their first earthly parents, but also a spiritual heritage leading back to God, the eternal Father. Thus, all persons on earth are literally brothers and sisters in the family of God. It is in understanding and accepting this universal fatherhood of God that all human beings can best appreciate God's concern for them and their relationship to each other. This is a message of life and love that strikes squarely against all stifling traditions based on race, language, economic or political standing, educational rank, or cultural background, for we are all of the same spiritual descent. We have a divine pedigree. Every person is a spiritual child of God. In this gospel, there is no room for a contracted, narrow, or prejudicial view. The prophet Joseph Smith said, "Love is one of the chief characteristics of deity, and ought to be manifested by those who aspire to be the sons of God." A man filled with the love of God is not content with blessing his family alone, but ranges throughout the whole world, anxious to bless the whole human race. In 1907, the first presidency presented to the General Conference a declaration which includes this statement: "Our motives are not selfish, our purposes not petty and earthbound. We contemplate the human race, past, present, and yet to come, as immortal beings, for whose salvation it is our mission to labor, and to this work, broad as eternity and deep as the love of God, we devote ourselves now and forever." In the gospel view, no man is alien. No one is to be denied. There is no underlying excuse for smugness, arrogance, or pride. Openly scorning the pettiness and intolerance of rival religious groups, the prophet Joseph Smith said in an editorial, "While one portion of the human race is judging and condemning the other without mercy, the great parent of the universe looks upon the whole of the human family with a fatherly care, a paternal regard. He views them as his offspring, and without any of those contracted feelings that influence the children of man, causes his son to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. He holds the reins of judgment in his hands. He is a wise lawgiver and will judge all men, not according to the narrow, contracted notions of man, but according to the deeds done in the body, whether they be good or evil, or whether these deeds were done in England, America, Spain, Turkey, or India." Mormonism, so-called, is a world religion, not simply because its members are now found throughout the world, but chiefly because it has a comprehensive and inclusive message based upon the acceptance of all truth, restored to meet the needs of all mankind. We believe there is a spiritual influence that emanates from the presence of God to fill the immensity of space. All men share an inheritance of divine light. God operates among his children in all nations, and those who seek God are entitled to further light and knowledge, regardless of their race, nationality, or cultural tradition.